Congratulations to Marist. Tremendous second half. Momentum really shifted quickly. They made some really good plays and ended up finishing the game. Gonna miss coaching this team. It's a heck of a group. Did some phenomenal things on the floor, off the floor, and you know, coming from an emotional locker room, you can see the relationships, you can see the friendships, you can see what these guys have put into it. And so I'm really proud to be their coach and really proud of all the things that they did.
Questions for those student athletes?
Your team led by 15 points at one point early in the second half. What did Marist do to erase that 15-point lead? And conversely, what didn't your team do?
Marist just didn't give up. They've got a good group over there. Credit to them, and they just kept fighting. They didn't worry about what we were doing. They stayed together, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Marist. They played a hell of a game in the second half for sure. Like Juan said, they didn't stop playing. Like, they kept fighting hard, and like they played pretty good. So credit to Marist. Like, it's a good job.
You guys came out of the gate with all the energy in the world after just a quick turnaround from Tuesday. Do you think you kind of lost your legs a little bit in the second half?
I don't think we necessarily lost our legs. I think the day off for us was good. I think that Marist is just, like I said, Marist is just a talented team. They never gave up. They just kept fighting, and they got the job done.
Yeah, you and Harlan really made an impact in the first half inside. What did Marist do in the second half to kind of take away your team's inside presence?
Honestly, they just, like I said, honestly, like, they played harder than us. I mean, they come out the second half with an edge, and they just didn't stop playing at all. So like, they just played harder and just made a lot of things difficult for us at the end. So credit to Marist on that one, for sure.
Rachel, they got some opportunities from the turnovers. They created some easy opportunities in transition. Jaden Collins was fantastic. Thought he had a big-time game, 20 points, 4 assists. He stepped up and did them at a big-time moment. So, for us, 11 turnovers in the second half, it's hard to overcome. We had 7 assists and 5 turnovers in the first half, and ended up with 16 turnovers, and that gave them some opportunities.
Coming over from UMBC, can you just talk about what the culture at Niagara has meant to you and just how it's allowed you to optimize your talents?
This culture here at Niagara is amazing. I mean, this is a brotherhood, it's a family at Niagara. Coaching staff, like, I appreciate them for accepting me, my teammates as well for accepting me. I wouldn't want to be at any other place than Niagara University just to end off my final college career. So thank you, GP, thank you, my teammates, and I just love Niagara to death.
Any other questions? Thank you, guys. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Greg, at the end of the season, your team went, I think, 2-5 in its final 7 games. Did this team run out of gas or lose momentum after, such a hot January and February for your team to put yourself in position for a 5 seed at one point?
Yeah, we want to, in our program, we want to play meaningful games in late February and March, and we put ourselves in that position. And, there's a time to dissect and go through all that stuff, but right now it's just sad I don't get to be around this group one more time to coach them in practice, to be around them. But I'm proud of what they've done. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can go through. 11 conference win. It's been done one time in 10, 15 years. These guys 8-2 on the road in conference. We can do that, but this isn't the time for that, Rachel. It's more about just disappointed, that we can't keep playing, and But just grateful that we had these guys to be a part of our program because they've done a heck of a job.
Up by 15 and early in the second half, where do you feel this game turned? Was there a specific moment you can point to and say that's where the momentum was lost, or was it kind of a gradual effect?
Yeah, I think it was over the course of a few minutes. We had 4 or 5 turnovers in the first 5 minutes of the second half, and they got us in some foul trouble. Where they attacked the rim and put us in some spots. And then I thought that they continued just to keep putting pressure on and making us respond, and that's a credit to them. So I think it was over the course of time. But I will say this, it's a lot to lose a 15-point lead, but then to be able to respond, tie the game, with us on the foul line, with under 4 minutes to play. The way that you respond with that is something that I'm really proud of. This group's resiliency, that's something they've had since day one, and it's become a staple of who this team has been, just in the ability to win a lot of games, especially coming from behind. And their resiliency is a credit to these guys as individual and the relationships that these guys have and respect and trust they have.
2 days ago, obviously, the vibes were great in the locker room after the game. Today, it's the complete opposite, and that's just what March is all about. In terms of, you've been through this a lot in your career, through a lot of marches. Just, how have you come to prepare yourself for these moments when, you have to say it's the last time you guys play together?
Yeah, I don't think you can prepare yourself. You're so in the moment of trying to do something special, and you're exerting your energy into the program and the growth of it, and being able to try to do something that hasn't been done in a while. And so, for us, it was about being in the moment in order to create a moment. Unfortunately, we did fall short today in the opportunity, but in terms of when you get a chance to have a team together, it's really special to be a part of a team. So you don't, the emotions just come to you, and I said it before the last game. You lay it on the line, and then you can have no regrets. And our group laid it on the line.
Greg, you had one of the more heavy transfer-heavy teams in the MAAC this year. Can you just talk about your team's ability to stay together, even though they haven't been playing with each other for a long time at all, and just can you talk about the changes in college basketball and how much an adjustment you've had to make as a coach given the NIL transfer portal?
Yeah. Adapting to the landscape of college athletics is it's a part of it. And for us to have 8 new guys, the adversity that these guys faced as a group and as a team and that we went through, I loved coaching them because they just kept showing up every day and giving their best effort and trying to learn and to come together to put ourselves in this position, to finish off the non-conference, to build into it with conference. They trusted, they believed, and I'm appreciative for the opportunity to coach them because you're right, it's when you have that many new guys and they all stepped up and bought into the roles we gave them, and we were able to do some things.
Yeah, and as we mentioned there was not just a team loaded with transfers, a team loaded with graduate transfers. And now that you have to turn the page to next season, how are you going to approach kind of going forward, having to replace so much of the talent on this team?
Well, right now it's being with the families and our guys. That's the most important thing to me, and our coaching staff, making sure that we can cherish the moments that we have together left. There's not many of them left. And then, at a later date, we can dissect and try to work through, and find the right student athletes for Niagara. And we feel that fit our program, our university, and we'll do that down the road.
Last one.
Greg, what did you learn from this season, as a coach and as a leader, and what do you do to apply it to next season at Niagara?
Yeah, I think learning and growing is a part of it. Evaluating yourself, practices, games, recruiting, decision making. How can we get better and grow? And that's something that I really like about Niagara and our coaching staff, and we're trying to find ways to get better and improve. And at some point we'll in the near future we'll have a chance to kind of go through some of that. But I know that we grew a lot as a coaching staff. I know I grew a lot individually. We saw a lot of growth in our players and our team throughout the course of the season, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to continue to grow throughout the season to give ourselves a chance for meaningful games, and we put ourselves in position. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to finish it.
Coach Paulus, thank you for the time and congrats on a great year.
I appreciate it. Thank you for covering the conference and our team.